Cotman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast.
Hey everybody, Kenny Cotman.
Lewis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Yo, what is going on, my peoples?
What's going on?
All right, so we're going to jump right into this because our boy Lewis is out on location in Tennessee. So, Lewis, show is yours.
Sir.
Man. Talk to us. What's going on? How you doing out there?
That's right. I'm out here in Tennessee with my boy Frank.
Frank.
My friend Frankie came out here with his wife to pursue their dream and, work hard to get to the simple life. Just so you know, as experienced for the last 2 days, it's a lot of work trying to get there. But,
it's not so simple.
That's why we got Frank here to.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's
Good
going
to
on,
talk with
Frank?
you again.
How's everything
Nice
going?
to meet you. So you're saying that the simple life isn't so simple?
It's a simpler life, a simpler way of life. But just because it's a simpler way of life doesn't mean that there isn't backbreaking work, right? And the backbreaking work it feels good though. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your family and your friends. You're trying to build something. You're trying to self-sustain, have a place where people can come and kind of put what millions and millions of people deal with on a daily basis as far as stress and all of that, and just put that aside and just kind of get back to nature,
Okay, so then what? All right, so where is it that you live in? What's the town you live in? Is Tennessee who?
We're in Mossheim, Tennessee.
Okay.
My wife and I purchased a lot of land, which was previously a hunting land.
Okay.
It's just over 50 acres. And yeah, we came up here actually last August, started clearing some land. We do it pretty much all ourselves with the exception of the nightmare of the road that we had to put in. But other than that, we do it all, or try to do it all ourselves. We'd rather give it a shot and fail than not try it at all. And then if it winds up that we need to reach out to the community is slowly coming around, and we're meeting people, and it's just amazing some of the people that live out here in Tennessee. It really is really something.
Yeah, I can tell you this. Every time we drive, Tanya and I, leaving here to go to the
Hotel?
What's it called?
Airbnb?
The general store?
No, where I'm sleeping at.
Oh, the Airbnb.
The Airbnb. Thank you. Everybody waves at you.
Oh, that's nice.
If you're driving by them, they wave at you. If you pass by them in the car, they wave at you. If they're on their property, they wave at you. It doesn't matter. You're getting waved at every time you drive on the road.
And you guys could probably relate to this. Growing up in Brooklyn and even in Jersey, right, Tom?
Yeah. When I was
that kind of courteousness, you didn't really come across that too often,
Yeah.
And so people who are from the north, that somebody waves to you on the road, my initial was to flip them the bird.
Yeah, what's this guy's problem?
What the fuck you waving at? Yeah.
Exactly. And as you start to go, you go, they're just being nice. And it's really refreshing. It really is.
I have a theory behind that. I think like the more people that are around you all the time,
Right.
like the more you just get sick of seeing people and you just become desensitized to other people, and it's just become like things in front of you, because there's so many people. But like when like you in a small area, we're like, oh, you see someone, you're like, hey, I think it's just the whole way of life, I mean, that's what it is, right? But I think it's, when you have like hundreds of people, thousands of people around you daily, it just become like background.
Yeah. Was that how you think about it, Frank?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's also that, like, in our area here, the majority of the people are farmers, okay? Yeah. They get up every day, 5 a.m., they ride their fence, check for holes, find out if there's any coyote in the area. they all know the same thing. You know, Tom, what you're saying is when you're passing, thousands of people on the street, if you go into the city and whatnot, you got people who are computer programmers, or you got maintenance people, or you got, ironworkers. You got a million different things that people have a million different ideas of what life should be.
Yeah, it's different. Everybody comes from different worlds, right? Everybody's like kind of similar on the same,
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's in the same lane.
Yeah. That's excellent. That's crazy.
That makes sense too.
So then what does your day pretty much entail?
I'm sorry, say that again, Kenny.
What does your job? What is
explain like your day. Yeah, what are your day to day? What's your day to day? Yeah, that's what
all right. So we're in the process, and I got to give a lot of credit to my wife because she keeps me sane. Because there are times it has been a little bit difficult for me where I'm like, what am I doing here? I mean, it's wonderful and all, but this is crazy. But she talks me off the ledge quite a bit, and I'm rapidly, falling in love with nature and just doing for ourselves. So our day basically consists of waking up to our barn cat crying that he wants out of the barn. So we get him out. And then, we prepare the food for our dogs. We have 2 great Pyrenees pups that are a handful in itself. Thankfully, the most automated piece that we've been able to put together thus far is the chicken coop that has an automatic door that will open up at a certain time.
There you go.
You have to go out there.
Yeah.
But it really is what we have dreamed about, and something that we have talked about over the last 5 years. The funny thing is, a timeline is something you can make up, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to actually work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we've learned is that doing the work is much harder than what you say if you followed somebody on YouTube or whatnot and how they're doing it. You got to realize they film put a 45-minute video out there about how they built a chicken coop, but they're not showing you all the ins and outs and the failures of what can happen and does happen, and so you start to learn great patience. Not to say that there isn't ups and downs, but you got to learn to not dwell on the down and revel in the high, and be grateful for what you were able to get achieved. Getting back to the plan thing, you can have a plan in the morning of what project you're going to work on, but really nature dictates whether or not that's going to happen.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we're going to go clear a half an acre land because we want to put up a garden.
And there's a thunderstorm.
You wake up in the morning and there's torrential downpours, and it lasts all day. So you got to figure out something. All right, well, there's got to be something I can do in the barn. So it's constantly changing. And that's I think the interesting thing, because you're constantly learning, you're moving from one thing to another. And look, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it done by the end of the day. You go, okay, it's the end of the day, time to go and play with the pups a little bit, have a cocktail maybe, and just enjoy the sunset.
That's great. Yeah, you're on your own time. Right. You're not someone else's time. It's like, oh, well, the work's done for today. Pick up tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say, because there are a lot of hardworking people in this area, we're fortunate in that, I think I spoke with you guys last time about this, that I was fortunate enough to be able to retire a little bit earlier. So I don't have to worry about a lot of the things that most of the people in the area do, because it's still a job to them. For us, this is just a way of life.
Okay.
And it is a way of life for those folks as well, but they're also dependent to be able to put food on the table for their families based on what they're able to produce. So, and yet they still smile and wave at you as you're driving down the road. So
that is awesome.
Definitely a nice thing when you see that. That's for sure.
No. So now, are you farming? I'm sorry, Lou, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's when I'm here and I see everything that he has to do and take care of, you come in here,
it's a challenge because it's new responsibilities. You have to watch over certain things. You got to make sure this is good, right? Your wife is safe, the animals, on top of everything else that, and you just, but at the same time, you're doing it because you want to do it. And even though it's a huge responsibility, it feels good because you don't have anybody having to tell you how to do it.
Exactly. And, it's a whole learning process, right? It's very different from what I'm sure all of us have grown up in, flushing toilets and flip a light and the electricity goes on and, air conditioning and all that. Well, we're 100% off grid.
That's crazy.
Okay? We produce our own power via the sun. We're actually going to be working toward a wind turbine that will generate power for us as well. We have battery packs that keep our little compound going right now.
It's great.
And it's great and it works, but you have to be conscious and conservative with the usage of that, that power that you're trying to, sustain. So
that is crazy. So like no Wi-Fi, or do you have Wi-Fi and cable kind of stuff?
Well, we don't have Wi-Fi yet, but we actually are getting internet very shortly. But it's going to be either a cell-based or a satellite-based, because again, in order to have like what you're dealing with now, when you go home and you stream all your videos and whatnot, that's something you have plugged into a wall that consumes a certain amount of energy, and you have to pay for a service. Even though there are services in the rural areas that work the same way, the reception and the speed is just not there. They don't have the technology in place for that kind of speed. So you gotta go, okay, I'll pay a couple extra bucks a month to have something that's, shooting down for me out of the sky, as opposed to cables that are laid underground and whatnot.
Right. Soon you'll be able to get it because I think they're working on that Starlink or whatever, which is supposed to be like high-speed internet access from satellite.
There you go.
Beam from space. So.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, where we're at, the cell service is really good, thankfully. I mean, we're talking over cell now, and we have no problem with it. Of course, if we go to the bottom of our mountain,
you lose it.
We lose it, and that's where the people are living in homes. Right. Our driveway is, what would you say? It's basically almost a half a mile from the road up to the top of where we're at. And that was something that we wanted. We like that seclusion feeling. We like that ability to just walk out and go, oh, look at what we've been able to achieve. But anyway, running electricity, having water lines put in, all of that, that's a great, huge expense. Yeah. It's not something that, and it's unreliable. I hate to say it, but in Tennessee, it's like one of the top 5 states that has the worst utility water.
Oh, really?
Okay. So more and more people who even pay to have water pumped into their house on a daily basis through those pipes still go out and either they'll build a cistern on their land or they'll have water brought in. Like right now, I told Lou, we bring in our potable water, right? We have a rain catchment system that we use for showering and feeding the animals, watering the animals in the gardens and whatnot. And that water is treated very similar to what they do now, except it's better. And I'm not quite sure how that's possible, but it is, because we've done the tests on it. We've sent the water samples in to make sure that we're not poisoning ourselves. Right. And somehow it comes back better than what the water is that people pay a monthly bill every month to have delivered to them.
Well, you know what it is too, probably. It's probably because it doesn't have to travel like miles of pipe and picking up all the extra metal off the pipes.
Absolutely.
Right. And the land itself is actually filtrating. It's it's using its natural resources.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's another thing. We have springs throughout the land here, and we have yet to find a reasonably easy one to get to. But between the rain catchment and we know in the streams, we find areas where it's coming out of the rock. And it's a little bit harder to get to, but at least we know we have that resource. You know,
no wells.
There is an actual hand dug well that's on this property down at the bottom of the property, at the front of the property, that is got to be a good 50, 55, maybe 60 years old.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you could see the hand laid stones all the way up this well. It's actually amazing. It's definitely a resource if we want to go to it and get water.
Okay.
Right. But, you know, we're at a point now, okay, we have this base compound. We have our pole barn up. We have a comfortable camper that we're living in right now. We're going to be harvesting trees that will build the cabin that we'll live in.
Oh, shit, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, you need something that's close enough for utilities, right? We know, okay, we're going to be dealing with solar. We're going to be dealing with wind turbine. So that'll be a utility building that'll be off to the side of the cabin.
Right.
That's the easy part. The harder part is getting the water from where it exists, where it's coming through the earth naturally, which is all over the place.
Right.
But it's getting it from that spot to where you're going to have your cabin.
From A to B.
From A to B. Wow. Without having this immense power draw or need for this immense power draw.
Right.
And it's all doable. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of people who do it on a daily basis. And it only makes me respect them more and more with each day that we go through to sustain this life.
Well, you must be learning something new every day just by doing this.
Absolutely.
I mean, I only been with you a few days, and we're doing this work that we did with the fence and the posts and everything, and learning what the ground was like, because I was telling Kenny earlier when I spoke to him, using the auger, the gas auger, we're going into the ground, and it's not like the soil we have by us. This is clay. Right. So you got to put a little bit more muscle in it to kind of get it going. Once you do, and if you lean in it the right way, it starts doing it. But some places you couldn't even go all the way down because the roots were so big. Yeah.
That's
right.
insane.
So then we had to figure out which logs had to go where, and then do it the right way. So, and then, you know, but it's interesting for sure.
So, absolutely. And I tell you, one of the first things I learned is, you know, we're out here and we've met a couple of people and they're great and they help when they can, but it's definitely true. 2 is better than 1.
Right. Yeah.
Doing
Hell yeah.
project. You know, Louis, God bless him. You know, you guys know when we talked months ago, he's like, "Yep, I got my work boots. I got my work clothes. I'm there. You need something, we'll work on it." Well, he came up and we put up a 40 by 40 fence around my wife's garden. Okay. Right. We sunk the poles into the ground. We hammered staples into the fence, which Louis did probably 75% of it. And we got it done in basically a day and a half.
Yeah. Nice.
You know? Good. Now, if he wasn't here, if I wasn't able to get help, that's literally a week's worth of work for me. Yeah. You know?
Yep.
So
that's crazy. So that's good though. At least you're putting him to work because he doesn't do nothing here.
So you mentioned the soil, right, being all clay, right? So
red clay, man.
So are you doing like farming, like crops? Like do you have to, is the topsoil like good, or is it really like clay and you got to not overwater it? Is it like or is it got good?
Is it hard to do it with the
soil? The problem here, you know, you can't actually go right into the clay and put crops. So what we did was we built raised beds.
Oh, raised beds.
Okay. Using the resource that was laying on our ground already. I cut up some logs and we built these raised beds. And my wife, who is, I mean, a true fanatic about this growing, because she really developed this passion to try and grow stuff that's fresh, that isn't sprayed with chemicals, the stuff that billions of people buy from grocery stores and whatnot.
Yeah, if you got the land.
So when we got up here, we knew that there was a rich layer of topsoil just about all on the top of this mountain. And that's, something that came about over 50 years of leaves falling and not being churned up and just decomposing into the earth. Because, like I said, this was a hunting land.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's only hunting seasons a few times a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the touching of the ground was minimal. Hunters would come in, they go down to a blind that was built who knows how long ago, and they'd sit there and try to find an animal.
Mm-hmm.
So she started digging that up, scraping it up, putting it into a pile. She'd grab some leaves. She started her own little compost pile. She literally created, with the help of nature, of course, created all this soil to be able to put inside of the beds that we built. So we built, I think they're 3 10-foot by 4-foot raised beds that we started with.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, 4 weeks, not even 4 weeks ago, she put seeds into this dirt. 4 weeks later, and Louis can attest, it's all green. Everything is growing up. So we're expecting that we'll be able to grab a tomato off the vine by mid to late summer, or a cucumber or a squash. She's got watermelon.
You'll get it sooner than that. You guys are warmer than us, because I don't get tomatoes till like July. So you guys will probably get them sooner than me.
That's a good possibility. I mean, she likes to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm still stuck on how do you go from Brooklyn to
Florida,
Florida. I'm just saying, just getting out there. I mean, out in the open, nobody there. I couldn't leave the hustle and bustle. I lived in Florida for a hot minute, and then I was like, all right, I got to go back to New York. I can't do this anymore. It's too quiet. Like, that's insane.
I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, Kenny, and that's what I was saying earlier. Sometimes I think to myself, what the frig was I thinking?
Yeah.
But as you get older, and you'll probably, can relate to it. As you get older, things, you don't require the same type of things you thought you did when you were young.
Well, wait. So right now, before I left the house to come over here, right, the neighbors had the music pumping a little bit. So I have these 15.5-inch subwoofers, and I drowned them out. And I'm in the shower getting ready to come over here, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like having a good old time. I don't see that I'd be able to try to conserve the battery life at the house, and I can't turn my music up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to need a really big window.
Yeah. Kenny would be like, we need to invest in more solar panels and batteries because I need the juice.
I may have, over exaggerated, but I definitely have the ability to pump my tunes.
Okay.
We were watching the Ranger game the other night. We had the Bluetooth going over there, and we're standing over there, and then they're like, "Where's that coming from?"
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. It's not like I shut all the lights off.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Because
it's so. What I'm saying is, as a result of wanting to do that, you have to be cautious that you may have to recharge batteries a little bit sooner, or because you have to, you're right now, we're rely on the sun.
Right.
And if it's cloudy for 5 days, which we all know what that's like, where you're going, I believe there used to be this big orange ball in the sky.
Yeah.
What happened to it? Well, it happens here.
Yeah.
Well, the alternative to that is, we pull out the gas generator and we turn it on and charges the batteries, and the music is pumping again.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about trying to hook it up to my. I'm thinking about hooking up the batteries to a bicycle, and then just having my wife pedal.
That's true. You can do that.
Let her recharge the batteries. That's where I'm at.
I guess that's one way to get a divorce.
Now that
she's on board with that.
We're talking about, bro. Now that she's changed to the bicycle, get your ass to pedaling. Yo, listen, I love you, honey. I'm only kidding. No,
but believe me, I mean, when we were packing up the last time from Florida to come up here, all the DJ equipment came with me. So that when there's a will, there's a way. So
the
music will never die on this compound.
Nice. That is awesome,
nice.
man. That is awesome. So now when you get the windmills, like you're saying, you're going to get windmills. Do you have to get bigger batteries, or can you just get a bunch more smaller ones like you already have?
Well, the thing is you could, I would be able to use the same batteries, but the problem with, well, I'm going to say problem, but because it's really advancement and progression in this technology, is that, you can buy the biggest and best, kind of similar to like your phone, oh, I waited online for 24 hours for the new iPhone 26, whatever it is now these days.
Right.
Right. And you got it. And then 2 months later, that same phone that you paid $2,000 for is now $6 if you open a line and bring a friend. And then they have even more technology coming out 2 months after that.
Right.
It's the same thing in this scenario. So you have to be cautious about that. But yes, you can continue to add as many batteries as you want. You go with, a lot of people have a problem with the lithium batteries, and I understand it because, you have to dig up the earth to get it, and they cause problems when they start to go bad. But that's pretty much everything in life, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And we try to be and that again adds to the conservativeness that we do, because we don't want to add to that. We're trying to just live a simple life, even though it's very hard to live that simple life, and not cause any more damage to the earth, and just be happy in what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Minimal footprint.
We still feel like we're so far ahead of the game. If you can go back to when settlers came and what they had and what they went through, and people go, oh yeah, but the average lifespan was 36 years old. Yeah, well, there was also a greater population of animals and, disease and that kind of thing. So there's a happy medium there somewhere,
Right, sure.
Well, are you eating healthier? Like, you saying, because are you eating as much meat as you were before? Are you more vegan? Like, are you just eating the eggs? You're not having like that kind of chicken or just any kind of meat, really, right?
No. Well, we're just starting there, right? So our chickens are only about 8 weeks. So we have another 8 to 9 weeks before they'll either start laying, or if they become, part of the freezer camp.
Gotcha.
So, and a lot of people have a hard time, and trust me, I struggle with it myself. Okay. But you can go online and watch any documentary about how, these mass production of chickens and how they're treated and whatnot. And you really, I mean, it may be a rationalization because you kind of talk yourself into it because there's no other way. But we're giving these chickens the best life that they could possibly have. And when they are harvested, they will be humanely done, not have thousands of them slaughtered through some inhumane process. Okay. We honor them. We respect it. We take care of it. We love it on a daily basis, but we also have to, learn that the ultimate thing is that they're going to sustain us. Okay. And some people get it right away, and some people go, oh, listen to this nut job. But it's true, but I respect everybody's opinion on it. It's not for everybody. I would never try to force it on anybody. But this is something that is not, I didn't create it. Okay. This has been going on for thousands of years, where people have had to harvest other animals to be able to sustain life. Right.
You're doing this is part of your process.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, listen, I tell you what, more power to you, brother, because like I said, I don't think I'd be able, I know I can't. Like, I don't even like going camping. I went camping once. I was like, yo.
I'm with
I used
you,
to be in
Kenny.
Scouts. I used to be in Boy Scouts. We used to go camping all the time.
Yeah,
man, so.
no, man. I'm like, I'm good. The closest to the woods
I'm
and
done.
stuff. No.
My camping days are over.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying.
I need a shower.
Yeah, no.
I can't.
Yeah, no, the closest to like the woods and stuff. No, I can't do
We're
it.
talking to apples and oranges.
Oh no! I'm talking. I know
yeah.
camping. I know you guys obviously shower. I'm talking camping though.
Yeah, no.
I kind of got sidetracked.
Yeah.
But as I tend to do with the ADHD.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I just know for me, like I'm not trying to build that
Wait,
fence.
You're saying you couldn't do what?
I wouldn't be for long. Like I'd probably do vacation time to go and hang out, but for me to actually live the way you're living, I just it's not for me. Yeah,
it's not for you.
I need to be able to get in the car and.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I mean, it's not for everybody, but also understand it's not like we're never going to vacation. It's we're right now we're involved in it, and I don't want to say stuck, but we are building something.
Right.
Okay. And that involves being present, right? I'm not saying that my wife and I are never going to go to Vegas again, or we're not going to go to Italy at some point and eat olives on the side of a mountain, because that's going to happen. Just because you choose this life doesn't mean that, I think people, equate the simple life with a poor life.
Right.
And that's not the case.
I can see that. I can see
You know
how
what I
people
mean?
would do that.
I see how people would do that.
Because
I
you're
know that.
using different resources to get the things that you need. So they automatically think, oh, I can imagine what people are living like at this, that. Meanwhile, it's not like that.
No, not all. I mean, the funny thing is like you see everybody drive pickup trucks, but all pickup trucks are like 70 grand anyway.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
they can't be poor,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't think that at all. That's not where my head was at. I'm just saying, like, I just know I wouldn't be able to be the farmer.
Well, it's honest, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I would do it like you said, like a vacation type thing, or for a few months.
Right.
I think I would probably rather more go like
same thing,
camping, or just go on a hike for a few days, like a 3-day hike or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like me, I like gardening, but I can't picture my whole entire life being fields and fields of crops. You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
that's insane.
Not what. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, Tom.
The farming part. Yeah, like actually having a full, with those giant, because they got those giant sprinkler systems, with the wheel.
Oh, yeah. See, no.
But again, those are back to the people who work very hard to put food on their table and take care of their family. Our life here is a much smaller scale.
Yeah, it's for yourself.
We're just producing to be able to provide for us.
Yeah, there you go.
And knowing what it is, where, I'm really looking forward to that first tomato I'm going to be able to pick off the vine, because I'm going to make a heck of a Sunday sauce with that.
Are you? I'm assuming you'll be all your abundance. You'll be pickling and stuff like that. You'll be jarring, and I pickle sometimes.
Does she already do that?
Yeah, my wife is a big canner. In fact, the T-shirt she was wearing today says. Canning is my jam.
That's hilarious.
It's literally what says on her T-shirt. So
that's awesome.
Pickling's good too for gut health. I'm always big into that stuff with the gut health. It's because probiotics, prebiotics.
Absolutely. And you spoke earlier about are you eating healthier? And my wife is a heck of a cook. I think I've said that a billion times.
I know. By the way, it's true.
She loves to entertain. She loves to provide to our friends and whatnot, and myself, thankfully. So they're amazing meals, but yes, they are healthier. But she also throws in a little bit of the nasty stuff that a lot of people,
I
actually happen to love.
Yeah.
And honestly, my boy Louie here. I told you the Baba story. He's been eating it up this week. He's been enjoying himself. I mean, he got to a point where he was okay, I got to stop eating. He thinks I don't notice, but he actually slowed down. He's like, no, I'll just have one egg and a little piece of toast. And I'm like, nah. We're having sausage and biscuits this morning. My wife got up and made this for us.
That's the Southern
that
cooking.
Is great, man.
Yeah.
Now, how far are you from whatever major city?
We're only about 20 minutes from Greenville, which
Okay.
is a pretty sizable place. But if we wanted to go to Knoxville, that's probably about an hour. Johnson City, which is a huge, funny enough, when we first came to Tennessee, I'm thinking, honestly, guys, we're driving to Tennessee, we're rolling into Johnson City. I'm thinking I'm going to see like this little quaint little town with little mom pop shops. No, it wasn't anything like that. Johnson City's a college town. They have a huge campus. There's Starbucks, there's McDonald's, there's Burger King. And I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no lie. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When Lewis was telling us that you were out there, I was picturing more of cowboy hats and cowboy boots. And, just cowboys and cowgirls walking everywhere.
Duster, carrying a shotgun.
That's that was the picture I had on you, bro.
Fucking Texas, guys.
Listen, I'm just saying, bro.
Come on, we all have our bias and stereotypes in our head. We're like thinking the cities, and city slickers coming in today.
I'm sorry.
What did you say, Kenny?
Sorry.
No, that was you.
We were talking over each other. What did you say, Kenny?
Yeah.
No, we were saying just Tom was saying that it was he just when we pictured everybody with shotguns and having the holsters and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, no, it's not like that.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah,
although I mean, Tennessee is a carry state, so everybody, I'm sure, has a gun,
right,
or multiple weapons. But the difference is the people are respectful to each other.
Yeah, it's a different way of life. Yeah,
it's a different way of life, and they don't rely on that. It's not something that like Louis go. We were having breakfast 2 mornings ago, and we're eating outside, and I go to sit down, and I pull my weapon out and I put it on the table, and Louis like, okay, and I'm like, oh. This is not, I said to relax. I'm not robbing you. It's just, this is what we do here. We have coyote. We have animals that can, attack our livestock or our dogs. It's my responsibility to protect them,
I just picture the whole thing and just seeing Lou go, okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did. It was hysterical. And that was about, so the first morning when he had breakfast, he didn't eat that much. And then I put him to work. The next morning he ate as if it was his last day.
That is the funniest shit ever, man. Oh my God. That is great. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I applaud you, commend you that, you actually went and did something that you wanted to try and you're loving it. You wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle and just, do it for everything that you wanted to do it for, not for anybody else.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. That's exactly what I was telling. Same thing, Yeah,
I mean, the only one thing I will say is I miss my children terribly. I miss my family terribly. Not that they're not backing us in this endeavor, but, our kids are young, so they got to experience their life, and our parents are older. Although my wife's side of the family, they're like, hey, we're coming for Thanksgiving. And we're like, okay, we don't even have a barn up yet.
Right.
We don't care. We'll sleep in tents and blah, blah, blah. And P.S., this past Thanksgiving, 22 people showed up on our land.
Shit.
Wow.
And we had an absolutely wonderful time. One thing I will say is, look, the hard work is not for everybody, but country life is for everybody. You may not want to do all the ins and outs that are required to be able to keep it going, which is fine. This was a choice of ours, okay, and we're loving that. But I will say, you come to a place like this, and I'm hoping Louis feels this, when you leave, you're going to be chill. You're going to go,
oh, okay, you don't have the stress.
You're going to go back to your life, and you're going to do what you do, and you go to the hustle and bustle. At some point, you're going to think, man, I could use a weekend up on the mountain. And I truly believe that.
No, I get what you're saying, because, the thing is like, it's stressful living in an urban, suburban area because there's a lot of people, there's conflict, there's all traffic. Blah, blah. When you're like in the life you're living, I'm sure there's like really not a lot of stress. There's nothing really to like stress you out. There's no pressure, right? I mean,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
less, should I say, right?
definitely not that type of stress. You're right.
Yeah.
The other stress is not knowing what the heck you're doing and living among nature.
Yeah, but after a while,
Yeah, after a while though, you start to click and you learn it.
Yeah.
I just look. We just want people to be come, visit, have a relaxation period. We're at a point in our lives where this is our life on a daily basis, but that doesn't mean people who still have a lot of life in them, who want to go and conquer the world, great, do it. Help people, make your money, do whatever you want to do. But every now and then you need to go to a place and just offload and chill.
Right.
And this is one of those places. Yeah, I concur.
Yeah, listen, I get it. I understand that does. It makes sense. That is awesome. That is awesome.
And Kenny, if you actually come, bro, don't worry. I'll have the tunes pumping for you. I'll make sure that you get the cabin that has the the
Bluetooth,
lights and the disco ball. And
there you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, we need the music.
LEDs. They only take very little power.
Yeah,
Get some glow sticks turned into a rave.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is that is too funny, man. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I think it just takes a lot, and it says a lot for me. I mean, Lou talks about you all the time and stuff, and just to know that your character, yeah, that's you, man. To be able to get up and go do that and be happy, that's just sweet. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, but I will say, everybody, all my friends, my family, they think I'm freaking nuts. They do think that, Kenny. I mean, again, it's something that my wife and we stumbled upon years ago. We've been talking about it for 5 years. I honestly don't think that my family and her family, well, maybe her family, thought that we would do this,
Right.
And like I said, I would rather try it and fail than not try it at all.
No, fair enough. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said, though, once you get everything like really built up and, there's a little bit, just different accommodations for everybody to come in that they're not going to just be camping out. I think they'll see it different, and, once the family comes through and they're like, whoa, this is great. Yeah, then definitely. Yeah.
That is definitely the hope. I mean, my wife always reminds me, remember what you said, build it and they will come.
Field the dreams. Yeah.
Yep.
It's exactly right. I mean, they don't understand it now, and they'll never really truly see or understand the trials and tribulations that we go through on a daily basis to be able to get it to where it's at now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. It's just about eventually getting good people together, family together, and just enjoying life.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Cause I mean, like for me, my kids are 3/4 grown, and, I like the idea of going out to them, or that we all get together in any one place, and just to travel. And so that then if you're, you being out there in Tennessee, having a nice, big old spread, hell yeah, man. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. They will come. They will come.
They will.
Yeah.
And funny enough, we talk about electronics and we talk about power and all of that. But when you start getting involved with other things that exist out there, I honestly, I don't look at my phone all day,
Right?
Unless I want to see if there's a rainstorm coming in, or one of our kids called us.
Right.
Other than that, the only time the phone is on is when I'm playing some, Taxi, or watching The Odd Couple, or Cheers, just having it play in the background for some noise, because honestly, too much quiet gets to me. But some people, that's right up their alley.
Right.
So, the whole electronics thing starts to go wayside a little bit. when you're out doing this kind of stuff. Whether or not it's good or bad, I think it is, I don't know. It works for me anyway.
They seem to be doing really well out here. They enjoy it. So that's the main thing,
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's going to be hard. You're going to have trials and tribulation, right? So, of course, but they're doing fine, man. This is their thing. They're doing it. And it's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking good.
Yeah, just keep Lewis helping you out right now while you have him there. Let him build another fence up and stuff like that.
No, I can't tell you how, you guys know how much I love this man. But he was an animal. He really was an animal. And he didn't stop. He came, he does his stretches, okay, let's get to work. And he is like, and we got it done. But we managed to have a few laughs.
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely. And I'm quite sure we're going to have a few more tonight
when we get done with this, which is going to be very soon.
So he'll have a couple of jokes for you guys when he gets back. Hopefully, you'll laugh and cry as much as we did.
That is hilarious.
So
well, I can't wait till you come back, bro, so we can hear it all and you can tell us all the funnies and whatnot. So that's going to be awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, but I appreciate you guys for letting me rant about this. I love this podcast. I know you guys are, you do this for, with a passion. And I still always wish you guys the best success. And I'm just so happy and honored to be part of it every now and then.
Well, thank you for being on. And, thank you for the positive feedback, brother. I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
And it's cool.
Absolutely.
Love having you on too, because, I said you give us the funnies and stuff. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. My dream has become that we get this to a point where all you guys will come and bring your families and you'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what we've been ranting and joking about over the last few years. He was right.
Yeah.
Man.
Pretty good.
No, I can dig it. But then, so with that and the positive note, appreciate you, Frank. Thank you for being on. Thank you, Sir Lewis, for being out there and you guys on location.
On location.
Yes, sir. Lewis Crawford recording on location.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Got the Tennessee 10.
Yeah. So thank you much, guys. And with that, love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Hello.